there.
Have you had a good week?
I can't complain.
You're not going to start complaining now, are you?
No.
Oh, good.
What do you reckon we're going to learn about today?
We're continuing our series on the kings of Israel, and we're going to learn some more about David.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember where the last lesson on David ended?
Yeah.
Well, could you share what you remember?
Okay. Let's see. First Samuel went to, little town of Bethlehem to anoint a new king.
Yes.
That's 'cause Saul done messed up and got fired from being the king.
That's right.
So Samuel went to Jesse's house to anoint one of his sons. The first 7 of them looked good on the outside, just like me, but they were ugly on the inside, unlike me.
Yeah.
That's why the Bible says you can't judge a book by its cover.
Well, actually, no. The Bible doesn't say that. That's just a common expression.
Oh, all right. So then they called in David. He was the youngest brother. He was the one that God had picked out, so Samuel poured a whole big bunch of oil on his head. The end.
That was a very good summary of last week's lesson, Beulah.
Yeah. Miss April, do you realize that I just said in a few sentences what it took almost the whole class last time? You should just let me teach the lesson every week. That way we'd have more time for crafts and snack time.
Well, I think I taught a few more things than what you just mentioned.
No, but I'm sure you could have gone much faster, Miss April, if you hadn't had to spend so much time on Billy's Fool's Gold. That sure is an appropriate name. It surely is.
Why don't we get to today's lesson?
Okay. Oh, I just remembered that you said we're going to learn about what happened after David fought that big old giant.
Yes, that's right. We're going to learn what happened after he fought Goliath.
First, I got a question.
Sure, what is it?
Okay, I've been thinking about this all week. A couple weeks ago, you said the Israelites wanted a king so they'd have somebody to fight their battles for them.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, then why did David, who was just a teenager, have to go fight that big old giant? Wasn't that supposed to be Saul's job?
I'm sure the Israelites would have liked him to fight, but King Saul was afraid of Goliath, just like everyone else. David was the only one who trusted God to give him the victory.
No wonder Saul got fired.
Well, God fired him, but the people of Israel didn't. So Saul remained the king for several more years after David was secretly anointed by Samuel.
So what happened after David fought that big old giant? Did he go back to taking care of the sheep?
No, after defeating Goliath, Saul no longer let David split his time between playing the harp for him and taking care of the sheep at his father's house. From then on, Saul wanted David to stay with him.
I guess he wanted to keep him around in case another one of them big old giants showed up.
Maybe so. Since David had proven to be such a brave warrior, Saul put David over the other fighters. All the people, including Saul's servants, trusted David to lead them.
Oh, he was getting famous like I'm gonna be someday. Would you like me to print my name on something for you, Miss April?
Well, I already have your name printed on the attendance sheet from when you checked in.
Oh, I need my autograph. I only know how to print 'cause I ain't learned cursive writing yet. You want my autograph? It's gonna be worth a whole big bunch someday.
Oh, maybe later. We should keep going with our story right now.
Okay.
As they returned from the fight with Goliath and the Philistines, women came out of the cities and began singing songs about the great victory over their enemy. They sang that Saul had defeated thousands and David had defeated tens of thousands.
Hezekiah ain't here to ask. Which one's more, thousands or tens of thousands?
The tens of thousands for which they were giving David the credit. This made Saul very angry. He was jealous of David's popularity with the people.
Well, maybe Saul should have trusted God and fought that big old giant himself.
Well, the very next day, Saul was feeling distressed, so he asked David to come play the harp for him. All of a sudden, Saul threw his spear at David.
Good grief, did he hit him?
No, thankfully he missed and David was able to escape.
Oh, good.
Saul threw his spear at David on 2 occasions as he was playing the harp for him.
I would have said, all right, I ain't gonna keep playing music for you if you're gonna keep trying to kill me.
Saul could see that God was helping David and he was afraid. Not only did all the people of Israel love David, his own family loved him too. David and Saul's son, Jonathan, became the best of friends.
Oh, that sounds like me and Steffi. We're BFFs.
Yes, and like Billy and Hezekiah, they're also best friends.
I reckon me and Steffi are best friends forever, though.
Well, getting back to our story, the Bible says that Jonathan gave David his robe, his armor, belt, sword, and bow.
Oh, I got a whole big bunch of Steffi stuff, too. I got her blue skirt and like 5 or 6 of her shirts, her keyboard, oh, and her iPhone charger, 'cause I done lost mine.
Well, how is Steffi going to charge her phone?
I don't know. Sounds like David got some good stuff from Jonathan. I mean, if you like a bunch of weapons, I prefer clothes and electronics myself.
Yes, their enemy, the Philistines, had taken away all the blacksmiths throughout Israel.
Oh, I would have been a purple smith. Or pink smith.
A blacksmith is someone who makes things out of metal. They were the ones who could make swords and spears.
Oh.
Since there were no metal workers, weapons were very hard to get. The Bible describes a battle against the Philistines before David joined the army, where the only Israelites with a sword and spear were Saul and Jonathan.
Well, what did everybody else use?
Farming tools.
Oh, goodness. I sure wouldn't want to fight somebody who had a sword if all I had was a rake or a shovel.
Yeah, Jonathan giving David his own armor and weapons showed how much he cared about David and wanted him to be safe when he went out to fight.
I would have just given him a nice pointy pitchfork, like what my papa uses to scoop up hay.
Well, Jonathan wasn't the only one in Saul's family who loved David. Saul's daughter Michal loved him too. When Saul discovered this, he thought he could use it to his advantage.
What you mean?
He told David that he could marry Michal if he first killed 100 Philistines.
Wait a minute. Wasn't he supposed to be marrying Saul's daughter anyway for fighting that big old giant?
That's right. It was a promise that Saul had made as a reward for anyone who fought Goliath.
So why's David got to do something else? Sounds like Saul didn't have any integrity.
Integrity. That's right.
So he's got to fight some more of the Philistines?
Yes, 100 of them. Saul was hoping that David would be killed in the process.
Well, that's ugly.
Yes, but not only did David eliminate 100 of their enemies, he wiped out 200. So Saul let him become his son-in-law.
Wait, he married King Saul's daughter? David married a princess?
Yes, she was a king's daughter, so that would make her a princess.
Did they live happily ever after?
No. She and David had to live apart for several years, and then Saul gave her in marriage to someone else.
What?
David finally got her back, but she never had children. I'll tell you why when we get to that part later.
Well, good grief. That's disappointing. I thought all princesses lived happily ever after.
This one didn't, but she did help save David's life, and so did her brother Jonathan.
How?
Well, after the second time Saul threw his spear at David and he narrowly escaped, David apparently went back to his house.
Well, that ain't a good hiding spot.
No, and his wife Michal recognized this. She told him he needed to run away, so she let him down through the window.
Why didn't he just go through the door?
Because Saul had sent his servants to guard their house. It's a good thing he sneaked out because the guards had orders to kill David in the morning. Michal made it look like David was in bed by putting a statue under the covers and putting goat's hair where his head should be.
Oh, my little brother Booger Ray did that one time. He was supposed to be taking a nap, but instead he put a bunch of stuffed animals in the bed under his quilt.
What did he do instead of sleep?
He slipped out in the backyard and made mud pies all afternoon. Mama said he couldn't have dessert after dinner that day, but he didn't even notice because he fell asleep at the table. We put him to bed and he slept the rest of the night.
Well, when Saul's servants came for David, Michal told him he was sick.
Did her trick fool the guards?
At first it did. They went back and told King Saul that he was sick and couldn't get out of bed. But he commanded them to bring David to him in the bed.
He wanted them to carry him out of the house laying in the bed?
Yes, he planned to kill him while he was too weak to get up and defend himself.
Well, I reckon old Saul was surprised when there was just a statue and some goat hair in the bed.
Yes, and he was upset with Michal. He asked her why she had deceived him and helped his enemy escape, and she told him that David had threatened to kill her.
When did he do that?
He didn't. She was lying to her father so he wouldn't be angry with her.
Oh, she needed to hear your lesson about honesty, Miss April. Integrity.
Integrity, yes.
Well, where did David go?
He first went to Samuel and stayed with him for a little while. But when Saul heard where he was and came after him, David went to see Jonathan.
It seems like he's going to all the obvious places. His own house, Samuel's house, now he's at his best friend's house. He must not have ever played hide and go seek when he was little.
Well, he got better at hiding as time went by. David had to hide from Saul for a long time, and that's what we'll be learning about next week.
Can you just tell me about it now? I don't want to wait a whole week to find out what happened next.
No, we're out of time today.
So to recap what you done said, after David fought that big old giant, Saul got all jealous because everybody, including his own son and daughter, liked David better. So David had to hide.
Yes.
See, Miss April, one sentence. We could have done been eating our snack and playing a game. Oh, what is the snack?
Oh, well, the lessons run so long today, I'm not sure there's time.
Oh no.
I'm kidding. Go wash your hands and you can help me give everyone a cupcake.
Okay.